What do I know about Venezuela, apart from the few headlines I've read online, which tend to paint a pretty negative picture of the country? So I decided to go and form my own opinion. I'm going alone with thousands of unanswered questions. Did people survive the horrific economic crisis? How do they live today? How much do they make? Can they still afford proper food? Without a doubt, this is the most exciting trip of my journey across Latin America. From the charming colonial city of Merida, surrounded by beautiful mountains, I started deconstructing my own negative biases of Venezuela. Blessed by a lovely sunshine and a wonderful temperature, I wandered around, encountering a profoundly kind population. Every interaction felt like an experience in which the person I was meeting and I were both sincerely curious to meet one another. I knew nothing of Venezuelans, and most of them had never met a Frenchman either. A rare feeling nowadays, as many places in the world are so easily accessible, and when social media tend to ruin the sense of pure discovery. My experience so far had been beyond my expectations, and 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. But where was the danger, the violence, the poverty, the misery I once read online? I still had nothing bad to report. Maybe I had only seen the tip of the iceberg, but you know what they say, first impressions are always the best. I knew that by leaving Merida for a smaller village deeper in the mountains, I probably wasn't going to find anything shady for a sensational story. But I wanted to discover the most authentic sides of Venezuela. In this remote part of the country, I got a closer look at the reality many Venezuelans face. Through a few broken conversations in Spanish with locals, I slowly began to understand the depth of what they've been through over the past decades. For a country whose economy relied almost entirely on oil exports, the collapse in oil prices in 2014 meant Venezuela suddenly lost much of its income. People watched their savings vanish as the government printed enormous amount of money to keep spending. Salaries became almost worthless, and the crisis spiraled into one of the worst economic collapses in modern history. Life became unbearable for millions, forcing nearly 8 million people to leave their homeland. Is there a link between these tough times and the kindness of the people I've been meeting? Venezuelans have developed incredible strength and resilience to face the difficulties of the past decade. They've learned to become closer to one another and build strong community bonds. And the fact that they've managed to preserve such a level of kindness through it all is truly inspiring. As my time here comes to an end, I'm so glad to carry this very positive image of Venezuela with me. This journey was another reminder of how important it is to challenge what we hear about certain places and never rely on a couple of YouTube videos or articles to form an opinion about a country or its people. I couldn't recommend Venezuela enough to any traveler looking for a unique experience in a country that still feels untouched.